Sutra. Also seen are Buddha's disciples who have not slept but walk at ease. Within the forest groves, they seek with diligence the Buddha way. Commentary. Also seen are Buddha's disciples who have not slept but walk at ease. They don't ever sleep. If they do sleep, they just sit there and doze off for perhaps a second. What are they doing? They are cultivating the Pratyupana Samadhi, the standing Buddha Samadhi. To cultivate this Dharma, a person stays in a single room and walks continually without sitting or reclining for 90 days. For 90 days, they do not sleep. They are allowed to eat and go to the toilet, but not to sleep. They battle exclusively with the demon of sleep for 3 months. Within the forest groves, they seek with diligence the Buddha way. They want to find the road to the accomplishment of Buddhahood. Sutra. Seen too are those with perfect precepts, intact with awe-inspiring manner, their purity like precious pearls with which they seek the Buddha way. Commentary. Seen too are those with perfect precepts. Also seen are those bodhisattvas who observe the moral precepts, guarding them as they would hold a precious pearl. This section of text refers to the 10 types of precepts. 1. Intact precepts. The bodhisattva who has intact precepts has not violated the heavy grade of the 10 evils and 5 rebellious acts. If these offenses are committed, it is as if one had lost one's life raft. Without the raft, you cannot get across the sea. This means that you will not be able to cross from this shore of birth and death over the heavy current of afflictions to the other shore, which is nirvana. So it is most important to have intact precepts, meaning that offenses have not been committed on the heavy grade. 2. Unbroken precepts. The bodhisattva who has unbroken precepts has not committed offenses of the 10 evils and 5 rebellious acts on the middle grade. If these offenses have been committed, it is as if one has torn a hole in the life raft. It is ruined and cannot be used. If you do not observe the precepts, then carrying such offenses, you will not be able to become a Buddha. 3. Unpunctured precepts. If the precepts are punctured, this is like a life raft which is not ripped but has a leak the size of a pinpoint. It soon becomes useless. Unpunctured morality means that one does not violate the lesser grade of the 10 evils and 5 rebellious acts. To commit offenses of the lesser grade is not so serious, and so it is said to be like a hole. With a hole, the raft won't float. If you do not hold the precepts purely, you won't be able to become a Buddha. 4. Unscattered precepts. Scattered means that an evil awareness causes one to give rise to evil thoughts. Although pure in body and mouth, the mind is blocked with afflictions. In cultivation, one must practice precepts which are unscattered. These are also called the Samadhi precepts, for with Samadhi, precepts can be held on this level. 5. Following the way precepts. When those who have certified to the first fruit of sagehood walk or plant the fields, the buds of themselves stay 4 inches away from their feet. In this way, the sage avoids harming them. This is the precept power which follows upon your cultivation of the way. 6. Unattached precepts. This refers to arhats who have eternally severed their greed and attachment to the six objective sense objects in the triple realm. Numbers 5 and 6 are also called way precepts or the precepts of the absolute truth. 7. Precepts praised by the wise. The person who holds the precepts at this level is well able to emerge from the forms and blend with the common. Although he does not practice the middle way, he is able to use the provisional dharmas within both the common and the false truths as an expedient device. Although he does not cultivate the doctrines of the middle way, he uses the common truth and the false truth to benefit living beings. Therefore, because he can use provisional dharmas to benefit living beings, he is lauded by those who have wisdom. 8. Precepts of self-mastery. This is the self-mastery of the Bodhisattva who contemplates self-mastery, Avalokiteshvara. They can use their spiritual penetrations to freely roam and play among human beings and manifest both in opposition and in accord. Although they may appear to do evil deeds, they break neither the precept nature nor the precept covering. To keep the precept nature means that one doesn't even bring forth the thought to break the precepts. To have the thought to break a precept is to violate the nature of the precept. This has no outward appearance. The precept covering has a visible form. When one breaks the precept covering, that means one has committed an outward act of precept violation. At this level, neither the precept nature nor the precept covering is violated. It may appear that they are broken, but they are not. The Shuragama Sutra mentions the smashing of demons' heads to bits. Someone asked me if this wasn't a case of violating the precepts. I said it was not. That's a case of non-violation in a state of opposition. Another example is a Jaina master Pao Chi of the Liang dynasty. About the time when Bodhidharma went to China, he was a meat eater, not a vegetarian. Every day he ate 2 pigeons. In fact, he ate 2 pigeons at every meal. The cook gave him 2 pigeons and he ate every last bit, bones and all. The cook thought they are probably pretty tasty, and one day he snuck one of the wings to take a taste, thinking it wouldn't matter. That Dhyana Master Chö Kung would never know. But the moment Dhyana Master Chö Kung saw them, he said, "Why did you steal a taste of my pigeons?" "I didn't eat them," the cook said. "Really?" said Master Chö Kung. "Very well, watch this." And he ate both of the pigeons. Then he opened his mouth and the 2 pigeons flew out again. One of them flew away, but the other was missing a wing. "Well, where does a pigeon's wing?" he said, "if you didn't eat it." "I cleaned and cooked the 2 birds myself," said the cook. "How could he spit them back up alive and well?" From this he knew that Master Chö Kung was no ordinary person. He truly dwelt in the state of a great bodhisattva. This was a manifestation of a state in opposition to the precepts. Basically, eating meat is wrong, but he could swallow pigeons and spit them out again whole. A while ago, someone asked me if one could eat meat and still become enlightened. I said, "If you can swallow a cow in one gulp and then spit it out again alive and well, then you could. If not, you'll surely fall into their hells. You'll be obliged to pay your debts. If you eat their meat in the future, they will eat yours. There's not the slightest bit of courtesy involved." So, the 8 of the precepts of self-mastery, this means that whatever you want to do, you can do it and it's alright. You say, "I'd like to try it out." If you have spiritual penetrations, you can give it a try. If you don't, then you won't be able to pull it off. Number 7 and 8 are also called common truth precepts. 9 precepts in accord with samadhi. Whenever you do something, it is as if you were in samadhi. At all times and in all places, it is just like being in samadhi. 10. Perfect precepts. In what respect are they perfect? With regard to the perfection of morality. Everything one does is in accord with it. One maintains the precepts in all one's actions. Although it may look to you as if such people had violated a precept, they exist in the realm of the Bodhisattvas, and so they cannot be judged as one would judge ordinary people. That is the perfection of precepts. Numbers 9 and 10 are also called the precepts of the absolute truth of the middle way. Intact with awe-inspiring manner, the precepts are not the slightest bit deficient. The purity like a precious pearls. The clear, lofty purity is as priceless as a jewel, with which they seek the Buddha way. Sutra. Also seen are the Buddha's disciples, abiding in the strength of patience, though by those of overweening pride, maliciously rebuked and beaten, they are able to endure it all, seeking for the Buddha way. Commentary. This section of the verse deals with the cultivation of the perfection of patience. Maitreya Bodhisattva again says, so Manjushri Bodhisattva, also seen are the Buddha's disciples, true disciples of the Buddha, abiding in the strength of patience. They cultivate the perfection of patience. Patience requires no thought. Arriving at the level of no thought is just patience with production. Patience with dharmas and also the patience with the non-production of dharmas. These bodhisattvas exclusively cultivate the practice of patience. Though by those of overweening pride, what does patience occur? It counteracts hatred. If in any situation you encounter, you are able to endure it without getting angry, that's patience. Cultivation is something you must do yourself. It's not a matter of instructing others to cultivate. Some asked me, if someone is cultivating patience, it is alright if I test him. Can I try his patience? You shouldn't. Don't test other people. Test yourself. No matter what happens, can I bear it? Can I remain unmoved? Do my thoughts remain unmoved? Whether in accord or in opposition, do I remain at peace, just as if nothing had happened? Can I refrain from getting the least bit perturbed? Take care not to test other people. Cultivators of the way should test themselves, not others. If you test others, you get way off the track. For example, if you wanted to go to New York and went directly, you could get there by train, bus, or in a car in just a few days. If you didn't go directly, but first took off to the south or north, took a lot of different roads, you waste a lot of time. The meaning here is if you don't test others but cultivate directly, you can realize Buddhahood very quickly. But if you test others, you neglect and waste your own skill. You may have been destined for Buddhahood, say, in 3 great Asamkhya Kampas, but if you start testing people, it might take you 9. You forget your own skill in testing others. When can you test others? When you have reached the level where you have spiritual penetrations and can actually manifest the 18 transformations in empty space, putting forth water from the top of your body and fire from the lower part, or emitting fire from the top of your body and water from the lower part. When fire and water do not obstruct each other, when you have arrived at that state, then you may test others. Until then, I would recommend that you refrain. So the text says, though by those of overweening pride, what are such people like? They are arrogant. They look down on everyone they see. They feel that they themselves are number one. I am number one in intelligence and number one in wisdom and in learning. I am number one in everything. They don't mention that they are number one in stupidity. They don't feel that they are number one in stupidity when in fact they are. People of overweening pride are arrogant, you see, and only stupid people are arrogant. Unless one was stupid, one would not be arrogant and look down on others. Why? Take a look at Shakyamuni Buddha. Is he stupid or wise? Obviously, he is wise. He is the greatly enlightened one. He says that all living beings can become Buddhas. He sees all living beings as his parents from former lives and as the Buddhas of the future. Therefore, he does not dare to slight living beings. Now, Shakyamuni Buddha is the greatly wise, greatly enlightened one, and he is not arrogant. We petty little common people, what do we have to be arrogant about? What do we have to be self-satisfied about? Arrogant people of overweening pride are really number one in stupidity because they are arrogant towards everyone, maliciously rebuked and beaten. In cultivating patience, if someone scolds you, you must bear it. If someone beats you, you must bear it. Why? They are able to endure it all. How can they endure the abuse of others? How can they bear the beatings, seeking for the Buddha way? It is because they seek the Buddha way. If you wish to seek the Buddha way, you can't have a temper. You can't get angry. You must cultivate patience. Sutra. Again, a bodhisattva's seen apart from all frivolity, and from stupid followers, drawing near to those with wisdom, single-mindedly casting out confusion, collecting their thoughts in their mountain forests for tens of thousands of millions of years in quest of the way of the Buddha. Commentary. Again, a bodhisattva is seen apart from all frivolity. I've explained the word all many times. You can explain it as meaning a lot. That is, removing oneself from all, every bit of frivolity. You can also explain it as one, that is, from every single type of frivolity. Frivolity means playing around and laughing. Bodhisattvas who cultivate the way must not laugh all the time. They also should not play all the time. In everything they do, they must be upright and proper. This is not to say that you may never laugh, but laugh when it is appropriate. When it is not, don't laugh. To be apart from all frivolity is to have removed one of the five coverings. The five coverings cover the self-nature. To separate from all frivolity is to remove the coverings of inconstancy. When an inconstant person undertakes something, he does it in a haphazard manner, with nothing definite about it. He thinks of doing it one way and then does it another way. Then he changes his mind back again. He can't make a firm decision, and he keeps changing his mind back and forth. Cultivators of the way can't do as they please and laugh when they feel like it. When it's time to laugh, laugh. At other times, don't. You can't just ha 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 all day long. And from stupid followers. Who are the stupidest people? They are those who don't study the Buddha Dharma. Because they do not study it, they get stupid every day. When their stupidity reaches the extreme, They run off to become animals. Therefore, they should leave stupid followers. This sentence of verse implies the removing of the covering of anger. Anger means hatred. Hatred covers your self-nature. If you have no real wisdom, you are covered by inconstancy, as mentioned above. When you separate from stupid followers, you get rid of the covering of anger. Why do people get angry? Where does anger come from? It comes from ignorance. What is ignorance? Ignorance is just stupidity. So you don't understand? If that's not stupidity, what it is? By separating from stupid followers, one removes the covering of rage. Why do you hate? Why do you lose your temper? It's because you are just plain stupid. So remember this, no matter how intelligent people are, once they get angry, their intelligence vanishes, covered by their anger. They can't do anything. Nothing works out. Everything goes wrong. Separating from stupid followers removes the covering of danger. Drawing near to those with wisdom. Having left stupid followers, they draw near to those who have wisdom. This removes the covering of stupidity. If you draw near to those who have wisdom, you will gradually lose your stupidity. Why? Those who get near the brows turn red. Those who get near the ink turn black. Those with wisdom like to draw near to those with wisdom. Those without wisdom, if they draw near to the wise, will come to have wisdom. So you should draw near to those with wisdom, those with learning, those with way virtue, those with intelligence. If you draw near to those with wisdom, you won't do stupid things. Take a look at those who are wise. They don't get angry all day long. If you get near them, you may wish to lose your temper, but you won't find any occasion to lose it. You may be just on the verge of getting angry, but then you think, that person doesn't get angry, I won't either. There's a common saying, the good flock together, the evil run in packs. People seek out their own kind. Now in the Buddhist lecture hall, everyone wishes to study the Buddha Dharma. This is the drawing near to those with wisdom. In America, there are very few places where the genuine Buddha Dharma is lectured.